Okay, well, that's that. All right. You are now tuned in to the Innovision Show hosted by Executive Z. And we are here with Mike, aka DJ Axcess. Yo, how you doing, man?
Hey man, sounds good saying my name like that. Sometimes people get around there like Axis. I'm like, not that, not quite. I like how you said that. What's up, Z?
Oh, not much, man. I was practicing today. I was like, yo, how am I going to say his name? I don't want to sound like I'm the DJ, but, I had to make sure it sound right because, that's a dope day. Like DJ Axcess is in the building.
Thanks, man. It took me a long time to get used to it. It kind of came out of nowhere. You're not supposed to give yourself a DJ name, I guess traditionally. So it came out of nowhere, and I've kind of made it what it is now. So now I feel good about it.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, it's a privilege to have you here. I know last week you had Terrace Bar rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks,
like you had the vibe. The weather was good. I got up. I was grooving. It was a young lady's birthday, so we just happened to be up there, and she was feeling the music. You know what I'm saying? So you were doing your thing. So kind of talk to us, like when on the Innovision Show, as you know, we work with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and innovators, and you're a visionary. You know what I'm saying? Your music is innovative, you know what I'm saying? And it creates visions inside of people. So what inspired you? Like, how did you get into, the music and DJing alone?
Sure, man. And thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on the show. You said a lot of nice things about me in a short amount of time, so thank you for that. But yeah, man, it started when I was younger, like a lot of us, like parents got me into music, and I was listening to all different types of stuff.
Nice.
I grew up in kind of a predominantly white neighborhood, so I got like all like the rock and the country and like all the pop stuff from there, and then go to the family reunion, you pick up the hip hop, the R&B, the soul, and everything like that. So I kind of grew up knowing like a lot of different genres of music. My dad was in a rock, soul, and funk band. So just kind of watching him like, load gear around. He played drums. I played drums too. And then we started to fight over the kit. So I started to pick up bass guitar, and then I kind of got away from that. And then refound performing when I got to college at Ohio State. Started doing, bar mitzvah parties, and then started DJing, and then fraternity, sorority parties, bars, nightclubs, and then corporate and weddings. So I kind of was the progression, but it all stems from my parents and just the environment that I've been in, and always really wanting to be, I want to, if people are around me, I want to make sure people are having a good time. I don't want to be like the front of, the front face of that, but just make, slowly in the background, making sure, okay, the vibe's right. Everybody's having a good time. Cool.
Hey, the DJ runs the show. So you the spotlight. If the music is trash, hey, it's a problem.
Right. Hopefully people are having a good enough time that they're not focused on me. There's music's good. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. So, being that you come from, a background that's, multicultural, I would say, in a sense of having that access of those different genres, how has that helped you, I guess, in your overall performance?
Oh, so much, man. I just feel like I can go anywhere and identify what people want. So it really only takes me a few songs of each genre to say, okay, this is going to work, this isn't going to work. Or I go, oh, they're really feeling this. I can go a little bit deeper into that bag. And then, if I'm at a place like Seesaw, at other spots that I've been at, you never know who's walking through the door, right? So Columbus is going to be a really, really multicultural city. It's really beautiful. And when you're able to do, you're able to hit the Latin table and you're able to hit the Afrobeat table, but then still, play some of the pop bangers for the college kids that are walking in from Ohio State. And, you kind of train the crowd that, okay, I may not love what he's playing right now, but he's going to come back around to me in a minute, and I'm going to be able to vibe out and pop off and do whatever I need to do. So that's kind of how I organize it. Like everyone's going to have a good time, a really good time at some point. And then hopefully there's a few tracks, typically Drake tracks, that bring everything that bring everybody together. Right.
Hey, that's facts. That is super facts.
It's like, okay, I'm going to hit all this for a minute, and then here we go. Drizzy, boom.
Yeah. Gets everything rocking. Everybody's on that wave. How I can kind of conceptualize it is kind of like a triangle. You know what I'm saying? You hit top, left, right, and then you got that center. So
yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So like I would say, is that kind of the concept of it? Like you're looking at it like boom, boom, boom.
That's honestly a great way to look at it. I would more maybe Yeah, it's a great way to look at it. And everybody's in the center listening to Drake, and you got all your different points. Sometimes it's a triangle, sometimes it's pentagon, octagon, whatever it is,
For
depending on
sure.
the different groups. But yeah, it's a really good way to think about it for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know you talked about well, I know you're from Akron. So he's from Akron. Everyone out there, listeners, followers, he's out of Akron, and he's been in Columbus rocking the show. So yet alone, shout out to LeBron too. He's out of Akron.
Got to. Not a great year for LeBron, but he'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, I mean, Akron has talent. I mean, you're very talented. So, talk to us about how you establish yourself here. I mean, because, to come from a different city, to tap into, the music like you have, and to have the following and engagement, talk to us about that process.
Sure. So I when I left Akron, like I was, everyone knew me, but like everyone didn't know me. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's Mike, So everyone know who I was. So it was like, I'm like, give me the biggest school that I can be in, where there's everybody, and like, let me make a name for myself, like not just as something that the people see, but as, someone that people know just for something else. And that drew me to Ohio State. That, and the financial burden of Ohio State wasn't as bad as some of the other places that you could go, right? So just going to Ohio State and being like, okay, if I can, make a name for myself here, then I'll feel like accomplished or whatever it is. And just got into a bunch of different communities. And then, the hustle, just, hey, I'm a DJ, passing out cards, taking any party that you can, knocking over microphones, and and just going from there. And Akron kind of put that in the past, is like, okay, cool, we did that, learned what I needed to learn. And then now this is Columbus is where I really have thrived, and I feel good about it.
That's awesome. I see you got some tracks behind you.
Yeah, man.
So I didn't know. I was like, okay, is that like the thing, or like like I can't whatever it's called. Either way, that's awesome, bro. To be able to have that vision alone to manifest that into manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely.
When you speak about your experience, I can kind of relate to that. Going off to college, when I went off to college, that's when I really tapped into who I was. I was like, bro, I have so much more to offer, because I played football and all that, and got picked up. But I have a story, but everybody has a story. But yeah, man, and I established myself. Like, I joined a frat, was SGA vice president, and all those things, and I made a name for myself. So it's important, and a positive name. You know what I'm saying? And a name that can move people. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about when I heard your music, and now when I think about DJ Axcess, I'm like, this is a guy who can move people. This is a guy who can shift emotions from the good to I'm lit. Let me go get a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and that's the best compliment you can give a DJ, honestly. Is like, that's when I hear something like that, I'm like, okay, cool, it's working. Good people like yourself are saying that, are understanding that, hey, he's actually doing something up here. And even at Terrace, where I'm not like, I'm not doing battle tricks, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just like, hey, here's the song that you walk in, you're gonna feel a certain way, you're gonna feel a little more sexy, you're gonna feel like, oh man, it feels good to have the sky out here. If the heat feels good because the song's got me, it fits right. And it's going from there. So that's a big compliment. Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So like you said, you went to Ohio State, tapped in, engaged. You've built your brand essentially. So being an Ohio State alumni and building a brand there is very essential, and it's dope, because I've been a lot of places. I've been fortunate to live in different states.
Sure.
There's Ohio State fans everywhere. There's connections everywhere.
We're loud too, man. We're loud. I'm not one of the loudest Ohio State fans, but we are loud in general for sure.
Facts. But yeah, so with you being a DJ and you being, engaged with that network alone, you're good, bro. Like you really are. So just keep up the progression, keep developing and growing, bro. It's very essential. So outside of that, what advice would you give upcoming DJs and those who want to tap in just into the artistry overall?
Absolutely. Use your resources. Ask great questions. There's a lot of, I have a YouTube channel, so I guess this is a great time to plug that. So if you're a beginner DJ, I don't have the most comprehensive channel. It's something I'm working on, but I feel like you can go in my videos, you're going to learn something, especially for a beginner DJ. If you're intermediate DJ, maybe not every video is going to be for you, but I try to have conversations. I just got finished with one. I try to have conversations with people who have asked great questions, because a lot of what YouTube is, it's like, okay, you want to learn how to scratch? Cool. This is how you do it. Wiki, 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 wiki. But it's like, the better question is not how do I learn how to scratch, is like, when do I scratch? Because sure, you can learn the movements, but then if you go to your next party and you scratch in every song, you're gonna piss off a lot of people, because once you do it 2-3 times, the more you do something, the less impact that it has when you do it. That's why, the bottle presentations, when you see the 5th or 6th bottle go out, like, I hope that the nightclub's doing something other than the sparklers and the sign, because, like I said, 6 times, how many times are you going out per weekend? How many times do you see that a year? Like, to me, it's just like, oh man, here we go. And that's not what you want. You want it to be special. You want it to be celebratory. Typically people, when they got a bottle coming out, are celebrating. So I think I've forgotten where we were going off of that. Advice. Yeah. So what else, other advice can be mindful of your brand. Everyone says, oh, be a good person, like, for network. It's like, be a good person just because it's the right thing to do. People can see through the fakeness. Like, that's why LA gets a bad reputation, because okay, yeah, everyone's nice to your face, but then what's happening? Or is it just, moving professionally? If you're just an honest, good person, you don't like try to mess with people too much. You listen, be conscious and try to learn people's names or see kind of what they're about. People are going to mess with you, and then they might ask you what you do, and that's where you get to give them your little elevator speech. Oh yeah, I DJ at Seesaw, weddings, terrace bar, this, that, the other. And then now you've connected, and then you're not just, you're not just somebody else, right? You've made a connection. Exactly. So be mindful of your brand when it comes to your attitude. Understand equipment. Man, I could list off a bunch. Like, really understand your equipment so that you don't have any unforgivable mistakes. If you mess up a mix, 2-3 DJs in the crowd might kind of perk their head up and be like, oh man, he messed that up. But if the music cuts out because you don't understand how the crossfader works, or you loaded something up incorrectly, or you were getting too drunk and you spilled something on the mixer, like, those are the mistakes that people, they look at the DJ and they're not happy, right? And gotcha. Then now you're messing with somebody's money, and that's never good. So
so hey, listeners, those who are inspired to be a DJ or just want to learn a game, make sure you pay attention to what he said, because those are some very essential things in all industries. When you tap into any industry, you don't want to be out there looking like an amateur, essentially. Sure. You don't want to be out there just making false moves, and you're deteriorating your brand instantly, because they're looking at you like, yo, we need to get this guy out of here. Like, I don't know what he's doing or who gave him the confidence to get up here. But right. That's important, bro, because I know personally I've been at some venues and I'm like, yo, who is this DJ? Like, can you get him out of here? I don't even know the DJ's name, but he's setting a bad tone for the club. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's interesting that you say that.
And I will say, be easy on the DJ. Sometimes you never know who's in people's ear. Like, sometimes, man, the person who bought the last bottle wants to hear, I don't know, the first person that came to mind is Celine Dion. Don't ask me why. So maybe the person who bought the bottle wants to hear Celine Dion, and nobody's more upset that I have to play that in a club space randomly. Now, if I set it up or something like that, whatever. But if I'm just like, in it, and it's 12:30, and then I get a tap on the shoulder that says, hey, this guy wants to hear Celine Dion when the bottle comes out for whatever reason, that's what you got to do. So everyone looks at me and I'm just like, you just collect the check at the end of the night and go, okay, I did my job. Right. So, if the DJ's doing something, I'm not going to blanket and say all the DJs, get excuses, but sometimes there's more going on than what you guys know and understand. It'd be like, just if I were to walk in to wherever, you guys work, I might ask like, well, isn't the customer always right? You would roll your eyes at me and be like, get out of my store. Right. So it's don't be too hard on the DJs.
That's facts. All right. Hey, everybody out there, take it easy. All right.
on everybody. Long year we had.
For sure. Yeah, man. So tell us about like some of the people that inspire you as far as DJs. I know there's like DJ, Funk Flex, and a couple other guys out there. Who's your inspiration?
Sure, I can kind of go in like all the different places where I do and where I get inspiration. So number one, if I'm going for like my the way I kind of talk to people on the mic, there was a guy named MC Nate, and he kind of trained me that people will do whatever you say if you say it the correct way on a microphone. If you command a microphone correctly, like I've done, like he would do like outrageous stuff. I would do stuff that would just kind of make for a great night for people. But commanding a microphone is important, and DJ Nate taught me that. As far as like what I do battle wise, Bombay, I gotta mention him, Bomb Beardo. He when I was like starting my scratching journey and practicing, he kind of came in and showed me that there's like just crazy levels. Like, you know, there's guys on YouTube that, you know, you see and you're like, oh, you know, that's the 1%. But then when you have someone like in your house down the street who lives from you and he's doing the stuff that you're seeing at these top 1% guys, I mean, not a lot of people have the benefit of having that. So having a guys like Bombay to show me the battle stuff. And then as far as the way I program, there's a number of people, but the first one that comes to mind when I was really starting out was this guy named Gibbs, and he kind of gave me what's called the Gibbs method. And this isn't how I mix all the time, but I think for beginner DJs, it's a great way to mix. So you start with a banger, right? So, you know, if you want to, let's talk about, you know, resetting the floor. So maybe someone's gone on before you, you want to get people's attention. So you hit them with the banger. Now the next song is going to have a lot less energy, but it's going to be the same kind of space as that banger was. And it's going to be the same genre or the same, you know, vibe. Maybe it's a twerk song, whatever. And so that's going to have, you know, call it the lowest energy. And then you slowly start to build it up until you get to a pop off moment, and then you know to reset again. And that was called the Gibbs method. So you'd start with the banger, low energy, keep increasing the energy, and then pop off, and then you'd reset. And you just kind of keep doing that. Now that worked really well. Okay. Yeah, that worked really well for like events where people are stuck there. It's not a great club cycle, but if like, you know, weddings, corporate events, you know, proms,
just to keep like the vibrations, like, yo, okay,
just like that, just like you're doing with your hand, man, just kind of keep it going up and out. Because if you I don't know if you've ever been to parties or like music festivals where it's you know, just go the whole time. Again, it gets old, and you want to kind of move to a different stage or whatever it is. If you were to just be going hard the entire night, like you can't just play straight Cardi B all night, and eventually someone's gonna be like, yo, we gotta play something else.
Nice. So I know I've been to a couple of festivals. Shout out to Numbers Fest. I don't know if you ever been out there.
Oh yeah, dude, I got to play 28. No, it could be 2018, 2008. Woo.
Oh yeah, you're OG. Okay. Yeah, 2008, dude. I was in middle school. So, wow, that shows my age.
Yep. Mine too.
You're not super OG, but you're seasoned for sure. But nothing wrong with that. But yeah, man, that's dope because I know I got to see Marshmello, and that dude, I mean, he's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? He has the crowd rocking. So, I mean, not to say what are your thoughts about him, but have you ever, like, I know you do a little bit of the EDM and things like that. So, you know, is that someone that you would particularly say you look at, or their style?
Yeah, he's Marshmello's cool because if I'm DJing an event where people aren't listening to EDM, they still know Marshmello. So he's a great way to transition into like some heavier stuff. So say I'm at a nightclub like Whiskey Lounge where they want, you know, the bottle popping EDM music, kind of like it's still, you know, 2010, 2013, that's kind of what they're going for. Okay. If I'm doing something else and I need to transition, or I say, oh, I'm kind of losing them a bit, I know I can use a Marshmello song to say, hey, I know you know this one, sing along. So then we can get into whatever we need to get into next time. So Marshmello's cool. He's doing some interesting things with, I mean, country music now. He had a, I mean, it's a pretty solid country record called One Thing Right. So it's interesting to see him and Diplo kind of diving into there. And he's got some good R&B records too. None of them come to mind, but there's definitely two that I play that like you wouldn't know was Marshmello unless you looked at the record.
Nice, that's dope. I mean, you got to have versatility though. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to tap into those different bags. And I think that's what's so dope as far as what you do. Even when I looked at your playlist, I mean, you're so diversified. And we talked about your background alone. So you can pop out anywhere You know what I'm saying? I seen like, you know, you've been to different countries.
Mhm.
I don't know specifically if you were able to like DJ there, but yet alone you knew the vibe. You knew like you can cultivate here. You know what I'm saying? So
My only international show is Jamaica, and it was when I had no business being in Jamaica DJing at that point. Like I did. I mean, I did fine,
yeah,
but like it was one of those things that's like you look back, you're like, I wish I had the skills that I had now to do that party then. So it's cool that it worked out that way though.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, you know, it's always possible because you have the portfolio. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's most important. You're like, yo, I can send them just some tracks alone. I don't even need to show up. I could just send some tracks. So, how does that work? I mean, with you having the type of portfolio or you know, electronic portfolio that you have, is it to where like, hey, I don't have to show up, but I will show up just to show face?
No, man. If you look on YouTube, like there's a lot of people that are just talking about that right now. It's like the new buzzword is like just show up. If you're an entrepreneur, just show up. If you're this, that, creative, like a lot of this is just showing up. So you know, you could Z, you did football, right? You work out, right? How there are some days where it's not easy to go to practice, you know, like where you're dragging a little bit, you don't want to go, but if you make it there, you get a little bit better. And then, you know, but if you don't make it there, you got to take 2 steps back. So
exactly. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
If you show up to practice, if you show up to your gig, if you know you don't skip that meeting, you don't skip that network connection, that coffee date, that, you know, hey, let's go out and grab a beer, whatever. You know, hey, I'll see you at the table tonight, whatever that looks like, where you're networking and building your brand and letting people know, hey, this is what I do and how I do it. You're going to be successful. You know, if you write on the calendar, I'm going to put out a mixtape, be creative. Put out a podcast, you know, do some content, and you skip that, you know, that's going to set you back. And the more you are just able to show up for yourself, the better you'll be able to be in anything that you do.
And that's facts. I like that you kind of said writing down things. I'm an advocate for that. Like, I got plenty of vision boards in my room or just in my house alone. I'm always writing things down because you have to see it. You have to visualize it. You have to know that it's already real. So when you start writing down something or you know, make that vision, it's already there. Now you got to just show up.
Yep.
Now you just got to put that foot forward. But when you're not, and you're just, I got it all in my head, you're not really making progress. You're just having thoughts at that point. So
yeah, for 99% of the things out there, the information is out there. Unless you're doing something like really crazy, really innovative, like the information is out there, and it's just a matter of you doing it and then finding out how to put your spin on it. I mean, you look at, like, I don't know if you're on TikTok or whatever, but any social media has like a little it kind of has like a cycle, right? So it pops off and then everyone's there's a lot of individual creators doing their thing and they're kind of rising to the top. And then what happens? Everyone starts copying what those people do. So those people who have already been trained to innovate keep coming up with the new stuff. And the people who are kind of in just the back, exactly, just bandwagon. Sure, they're going to get to that middle level, but they'll never be those creators that are, you know, pushing the envelope, that are coming up with the trends, that are, you know, making it so those hashtags or whatever it is pop.
Yeah. And I think that's see, just speaking on myself, for instance, like, I like that you said that, like, you know, there's a lot of podcasts out there. You know, I mean, it's still a very niche market though. But you know, there's a lot of people who may particularly be doing what I'm doing, but I have my own spin on it. But it's like, you have to see, you know, where else you can go with it. That's, like you said, what sets you apart essentially, because you're able to duplicate yourself over and over again, to where it's like you don't have to be behind someone and be like, okay, I have to follow their footsteps over and over and over. So that's very important, man, that you show that.
And then it's not, you know, it's not a blanket statement either. Like, you know, there's going to be things where I'm going to be creatively different or creatively leading the pack, and then there's some things that I'm not as into, or I don't have as much know-how, and I'm going to be looking to those people for like those specific things, for assistance, for resources. Like, okay, that's how they're doing it. Like, for instance, Instagram ads actually worked for me for my most recent video. I put $50 behind a post because, you know, everyone knows if you throw money at it, like it's gonna at least do something. It'll move something. Sure. So I was like, hey, let me throw $50 behind this, whatever, blah blah blah, and it did really well for me. So I know next time, all right, cool, maybe I'll I'll look and, target it a little bit more, but
for sure.
but just listening to people in the know.
Yep. That's very important. Social media, I mean, that's our biggest tool nowadays. I mean, one of our biggest tools. I mean, word of mouth still travels. Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth is still 100%.
Yeah, that's still 100% profitability right there. Speaking on content, that video that your boy did was crazy.
Big shout out to Bobby Jackson.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby.
All
Jackson.
Your video needs.
Yeah, man. I even engaged, on his profile just to see his progression. He was showing how when he started shooting videos to where he is now. So salute to that. I know for myself personally, I got into videography. Not a passion for it, but it's dope, especially if you have a passion for it and where it can take you. Yeah, he did his thing. So shout out to that. Oh yeah, you got to send me that video. Hopefully he'll give me the license rights for that. Because we need to use that for promo.
Yeah, dude, it was I've worked with them before, so I kind of got him on the come up. He was working for somebody else, and so you could see, when somebody is like about what they're doing and they just have the passion to it. So I kind of caught him on the come up, just being like, okay, this dude is real serious about what he is. And then why I like his work is because I'm a nerd at heart, so anyone who can make me look cool is like very high priority on my contact list, man. So big shout out to Bobby.
That's important. Like, you made me look good.
Right.
Oh wow, we're gonna keep working.
Because I think now, like, people see the name or whatever it is, and might approach me a certain way, but like within a minute of conversation, you realize, oh, this dude's mad. I hope this is what you realize. This dude's mad, down to earth, and probably doesn't care too much about his image outside of like what he puts on Instagram. So
yeah, I mean, I thought that was really cool too. Like, for us to be here. I mean, it was Sunday. Thursday, we're here and we're able to chat.
Ready to go. Not in the studio though. I messed that up.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But even virtually, like, we're still here. We're able to engage and just network. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, this is just a conversation that may inspire someone else. This is a conversation that could lead to them reaching out to you, like, yo, like that show you guys did was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's all about. Just continuously, this is philanthropy in a sense. Like, just being able to engage and just have a conversation like this is a sense of giving back, because there's
to a point. I'm sure, like, some people look at giving that, but I see that this is good for my brand too. I see you out, doing your thing. Like, it seems like you're trying to be a pillar in the community, so that and I'm not doing this all because of philanthropy. Like, I know if you have a party, or if you you probably have influence in the people that you're around, that birthday party, people who you have on your podcast. At some point, someone's going to be talking about, oh man, I got my birthday coming up. Oh, you got to go see Axcess at Seesaw. Oh, I'm looking for like a nice pool to have a nice dinner. Oh, you got to check out Terrace Bar. Axcess is there. So again, be a good person, but it's going to come back to you in spades.
Yeah, for sure. So last but not least, what would you say, I guess, is your superpower?
Man, I think if I had to say one, I'd say it's organization. So I will say, I'm like the Google fiend. So the Google Calendar, the Google Drive, just having like talking to my phone and stuff. If you can make processes that are really easy, and you can get into a habit of doing those, you'll find more time for other things, and you're not tired from doing all this stuff. So the more you can organize your life, make things automatic.
Automation.
Using the automation, using all the tools that people can give you, appointment managers, calendars, notes, to-do lists, whatever it is, to organize your life, so you have less things to focus on, that using less brain power on the stuff that doesn't matter, and focusing all your brain power at those moments where you actually like need to get work done and get it in. That's what's been really helpful for me. And then I would say my other superpower is identifying what other people, what motivates other people, and then that way I can kind of tap in. And a lot of influence is just unifying goals. So if I know, Z, you're trying to have a well-attended podcast, so you can start getting your sponsor, help people out in the community.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, he's trying to do that. I kind of do something similar. Let me see if I can bring like the music piece into it too. And then now we're aligning goals and we're moving together. And then we all know how teamwork is. So I would say those are my two superpowers: is identifying other people's, what motivates other people, and then staying organized.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like the fact that alone with your music, it motivates people. But the automation part is very key. I mean, you hear it so much and so often. Even in a podcast I was listening to, he gave you a whole list out of how to, build out and duplicate yourself or your business model, or even, just as a creator, how can I make my process easier? And automation is one of the key functionalities. So it's a good thing, but sometimes it takes away the grit, the hard work aspect of it too. But hey, some give and some take,
Gotta find what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my superpower. I'm not saying everybody else needs to be like that. Like some people, they taking those like last minute vacations and shit. Yep. Like that's that ain't me.
Yeah. Thanks. But before we get off here, let them know your the way to contact you, your Instagram, your platform, and just how to reach out to you if they want to get some work or just want to have a conversation. I don't know.
Sure. If anything business wise, shoot me an email, mike@djaxcess.com, DJAXCESS. If you're looking to connect on social media, Instagram is the best way. That's what I'm trying to build now. If you're a DJ and you're trying to learn, or you're trying to, have deeper conversations, or just, find good DJ channels to find. I think I put out pretty good content. It's not as consistent as I would like it to be anymore, but yeah, follow my YouTube again. If you type in djaxcess.com, that'll send you everywhere, or at DJ Axcess Music, and that'll get you everywhere else. And then if you're looking for, music, I am a DJ. You can find me on Mixcloud. You can find me djaxcess.com/music. And I've been making, mixes one a month for, years and years and years. So
Nice.
Ton of content on there if you guys are looking for just stuff to play.
Awesome. Appreciate you for sharing that. More than anything, thank you for coming on to the show, to the interview show.
You see me, man. I love to talk about this stuff. Pleasure.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a good conversation because I already seen, you're pretty much engaged in what you do and very passionate. So I was like, this is going to be a good show. But last but not least, man, have a good evening. Seesaw tonight. Probably come out there and check you out. Now that I know exactly who you are, yo, what up?
I see. You got to give me an artist or a song to play. Anytime I see you, I'm just, you're gonna hear it and be like, all right, Mike, played that for me. What's the song?
I like Larry June a lot. So Larry June, if you find a good track by Larry June, something clean, I will, depending on where we're at.
Yeah.
Larry June is my guy.
Larry June is the guy. All right, man.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, have a good one, and I'll catch up with you soon, man.
You too. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for having me.
No problem.